Look, Java, I'm telling you, the originals were better than the prequels. Yo, I don't care what you think, you big dumb idiot. Traditionally, I'd ask what's up, but we all know it's people not wearing masks. Today's video will be super simple, but super informative. Simply put, we will be learning how to hold these beautiful tools of creation. In this case, Ralphie Jr.'s. Now, before we even touch the sticks, the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna form a small T with our hands. T. You're gonna put the pad of your thumb on the third section up from the base of your index finger. I know I'm being a little detailed, but I really want you guys to get this right. Here's a closer look at it. Now, Wikipedia says that the fulcrum is the main lever in your grip that controls the stick. Now, that's a pretty good description, actually. Thanks, Wikipedia. You'll come to learn in your journey as a percussionist that there are multiple schools of thought behind the fulcrum and where in the hand it is. Some people believe it's in the back, some people believe it's in the middle. Most people, from what I know, believe that it's the T because it's the most traditionally taught thing. It's the easiest thing for people to pick up. So for the sake of this video, we're gonna call it the fulcrum right here at the T grip. Oops, I skipped ahead. Now we're gonna put the stick in our hands. You're gonna take what I'm hoping is a Ralphie Jr. and put it directly in between the point that we talked about earlier. So you're still making the T just with the stick in between, and it's going to be pointing straight up, pretty much parallel to your thumb. Once you place the stick like so, wrap your fingers around and
firmly grasp it.
Firmly, not to be commonly misconstrued with
Firmly grasp it.
Firmly. Never ever should you squeeze the stick. When educating, I really prefer to use the word firm because it does a really good job of depicting how you want to hold these tools. Think about firmly gripping your phone, right? You don't want to damage it, you don't want to death grip it and break it, but you also don't want to drop it. Or a baby. Just as you would firmly hold anything you really care about, you should really firmly hold your sticks. This way, they're always securely being held by your hand, but at the same time has that freedom in there that will allow it to do what it needs to do. A relaxed, firm grip really allows me to capitalize on my investment and really get the most return for my efforts. Now that you've done it with the right hand, simply do it with the left. Easy enough, right? It isn't. Reason being that your less dominant hand, in this case my left, will generally be weaker than your dominant hand, so there will be a lot of extra training when it comes to whatever hand you are not dominant with. So developing your non-dominant hand will be a lot more work than developing your dominant hand, simply because you're just unfamiliar with that limb. Hopefully not too unfamiliar. Now that we know how to hold the sticks, we're going to implement what we learned into setting up on an actual drum pad or playing surface, literally whatever you want. First and foremost, we're going to make sure we're sitting upright in our chair, and we're going to gently bring up our sticks. Naturally, as you would, just bring up your arms. If I was sitting on a table and I just brought up my arms, put the sticks in your hand the way we discussed, get our nice T grip going, and point the sticks towards the middle of the pad. Now for my mathematicians, generally you're going to want a 45-degree angle, just like I'm demonstrating, and you're gonna want, as a general rule of thumb, 2 fingers off whatever surface you're playing on. This allows for really accurate measurement when you're trying to set up your grip. This way, your grip is always consistent because you have a way to accurately measure it all the time. Everybody's hands are different, so naturally, if you have longer arms, you might have to bring your pad down a little bit so you can be a little more comfortable up. Or if you have shorter arms, you might even have a little more slack. But like I've mentioned, everybody is different. Everybody has a different body. Everybody has different hands. So your setup will vary from person to person. If you see another percussionist, don't feel discouraged by the fact that maybe your arms are a little longer, so you gotta bring your elbows down a little bit. That's fine. As long as you're generally staying relaxed, you'll be fine. Now that we have all our angles in line, we're gonna go back to our grip. So going back to our grip, see how my left hand is starting to open up a little bit? I think I'm a little too relaxed. But generally, when thinking about being relaxed, we tend to loosen up this space in between our hands. From an aesthetic standpoint, you really don't want to do this. As a general rule of thumb, you want to avoid opening up this gap because it provides variables in your grip. You're going to want to keep that nice and closed, not to be confused with squeezing. Nice and closed, just like this. And now, we're ready to play. A good final step for checking your grip is making sure that you are no more than a ½ inch from the surface of the drum. So generally you could probably use one finger. It's about 2 fingers from the edge, we talked about before, and 1 from the drum. This allows you to not have any, this rule of thumb gives me enough space to not play anything prematurely or outside the line. Now, for our end of video recap, we're going to quickly go over what we did just to make sure that we're all on the same page. T-grip. Ralphie Jr.? Ralphie Jr. in hand.
Firmly grasp it!
Copy in the other hand. Center of the drum. 45 degrees from each other. 2 fingers from the rim. 1 finger from the drum to the bead. Oh my god, I forgot the begging part. Please guys, make sure to hit that like, subscribe, let me know what you think. I promise we're gonna get to the drumming soon. If you don't like it, please, please, please hate on me in the comments. Really helps me out. Thanks a ton, and please wear a mask.